with your host, Dr. Myron Edmonds.
What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the Get Your S.H.I.F.T Together Men's Podcast. And I'm here today with my main man,
Hey,
Jason.
man, what's up, man?
Is it W. Walker? Is it Jason W. Walker?
Jason L. Walker.
Oh, L. I don't know what's the L stand for?
Lamar.
You be finessing us on that. You be trying to cap. What is it? Lamaris?
Lamar.
That's black as I don't know what, bro.
Big L, little A, big M. Lamar's French.
Bro, let me look that up, man, on my chat GPT, man, and see if some AI will confirm whether that's French, man. Well, you know, my middle name is French too.
What's your middle name?
It's Pilote. That's my mom's name. Yeah, I got two last names.
That's definitely.
Anyway, fellas, listen, we're being sponsored today by the Winning Circle, and they want to see where you are as a high integrity man. You know, Kevin Samuels talks about being a high value man, but are you a high integrity man? Go to the website, take the test, see where you stand on this. I took this test, man. I can't lie. I did not score a perfect score because integrity is not something you have. Integrity is something you practice. But anyway, go to www.IamAHighIntegrityMan.com. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to say it again. Go to www.IamAHighIntegrityMan.com. See where you are. I mean, don't be scared. Don't be a sucker. You know, see where you are on that thing. Anyway, Jay, listen, I'm glad that you're here today. And I'm glad it's just me and you. I'm glad it's just me and you, bro. Because
real talk today.
We got some stuff to talk about today. And that's not that the other brothers, it's not that the other brother, we miss Kimon, you know, he'll be back, and Cokes will be back. And we know we had Jay here talking about sports. But this is a subject that me and Jay talk about a lot. And Jay, I saw this video. And I'm going to play this video. This is what prompted this discussion. And I was like, man, I got to get my man Jay on this thing. And listen, last time you was doing a lot of capping, Jay. There was a lot of a lot of slick talk. There was a lot of slick talk. So now I'm trying to put you in a corner. I'm trying to put you in a corner where it can be no more of that slick talk. I don't know what your motives are today. I know you're going to see your wife later. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish, but I need you to know this is pre-record. Listen, this is recorded, so we're going to show this later. So you feel free to be honest, brother. No cap from you today.
No cap from me today. I got you.
All right, man. Look, I saw this. I don't know if you saw it, but let me get some context. This is Pastor R.A. Vernon. Shout out R.A. Vernon, the Word Church. Shout out Cleveland, Ohio.
Shout out Cleveland, right?
Yeah, this brother, man, he's the truth, man. He's doing this thing. He represents Cleveland hard. But he got a little podcast, man. He dropped this on the internet, and this caused a little stir. Caused me to go to posting on Facebook, asking brothers questions, and going to Instagram. Anyway, here.
And therefore, when she's ready to be satisfied, he's already satisfied himself. Sexual problems. They don't want to see that.
Well, the pastor is catching a little heat from the sisters. Sisters feel that this is not good.
I don't see what for.
Here's the question for today, because I thought that prompted a larger conversation. Even though we're gonna tackle that, and honestly, I have a feeling that we may not even get past that to some other stuff. But the question I want to ask the brothers today is, if you could go back in time, Jay, if you could do a time machine, man, like Back to the Future. You can go back to your single self. You look at your single self. You see him right now. You see that dude. I remember him living on the west side of Cleveland. Huh?
Oh, man.
This stuff was in order. That brother stuff was in order. I talk about run. I'm talking about the dude when I was sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, man.
Air Force
Yeah,
One. If you could go back to
yeah.
that, if you could go back in time before you got married, what would you tell your single self before you got married? All right, that's the conversation today. We trying to help save some brothers from some disappointment. We trying to save some lives out here, and we're gonna go there. All right, Jay. Let's talk about the video first. What you think about that video, man? What you think about the good Reverend, what the Reverend Dr. R.A. Vernon? What you think about them words, bro?
Hey, man, shout out to R.A. Vernon. Shout out to Cleveland, the 216. You see it, Midwest kids, baby, the 216. Shout out to Cleveland. But I think Vernon, man, was 100% on point. And if you're mad at him for that, I think you got an issue with yourself, man. Vernon was 100% on point. That, you know what? A lot of people try to downplay that aspect in marriage. And I hate that. A lot of people try to downplay. Some people do, you know. When you think about divorce, and I was doing some studying before I hopped on today, and when you think about divorce and, you know, the barriers that happen in marriage, you know, you see a lot of financial issues, you see a lot of family issues. One of the major issues that I seen when I was doing my research before I hopped on today was isolation from your partner, right? So when COVID happened, you know, a lot of marriages kind of went left because a lot of the isolation. So not only isolation from the community, but isolation from your partner. Like, you know, when people had to go in quarantine, they would spend like 2-3 weeks away from themselves. I mean, from their partner, and, you know,
True. That
kind of built a barrier when they tried to come back. You know, hey, some brothers might have went in the isolation and may have thought, hey, I kind of like it here by myself right now. I kind of like it alone right now. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, man, we don't talk enough about the physical attraction in marriage and how that plays a big part in how successful your marriage is. I think a lot of people like to shy away from it because it's seen as kind of being shallow, surface,
superficial. Yeah,
superficial.
That's true.
Hey, man, you know, how about how much she loved the Lord, and or how much she gonna pray for you? Yo, I'm not downplaying all that stuff. That is very important. That's extremely important. But just like the good Reverend Doctor said, there has to be a level of absolute raw animalistic attraction when it comes to your mate. And I don't think that's talked about.
He said you should lust her. Okay.
Listen, man, listen. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at lusting for your partner. I think that's very important. I think the sexual attraction to your partner is extremely important, because just like the good Reverend Doctor said, when you don't find that, that's when you find yourself going on your phone, going on Instagram, looking at the big booty butt page, you know, trying to find what you like because, you know, per se you didn't, or you don't have that in your spouse. You know, there's one thing, man, I was talking about.
Back on that though. They said a lot of people was like, dudes be cheating whether she fine or not. I mean, come on, man. Look, Halle Berry have been cheated on. How many times Halle Berry have been cheated on? Beyonce been cheated on. Well,
listen, man. Listen. You can't take away.
Fine ain't gonna stop a dude from cheating.
You can't take away from the fact that a lot of brothers is greedy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers is greedy.
Come on, man.
But a lot of brothers is greedy, man. A lot of brothers is greedy. And
I know for a fact that you married somebody that you was attracted to. I feel like, listen, I like the good Reverend Doctor. I'm a fan of his.
Booty every day, man.
I'm a fan of the big facts. Like, I'm a fan of the Reverend Doctor. I understand what he's saying. I don't got the whole context, but my opinion is I don't think that the church don't talk about none of this stuff at all. First of all, but I feel like I was looking for somebody fine. Period, bro. I wasn't considering some of the other stuff. I was not considering some of the other stuff, and you and I both know that it don't matter how fine they are. Like at some point, you know what I'm saying? As they say, familiarity breeds contempt. It's not, they still fine. I'm always going to be attracted But I don't know, man. It just that ain't enough. I feel like dudes always going for, you know what I'm saying, the baddie. I think we always going for the, I mean, maybe church boys. I don't know, no church boys. Just, well, maybe some preachers, maybe it's like they gonna marry somebody that fit the first lady role. But I'm just talking about regular dudes. It be that booty. It be that booty all day long. That's why dudes be getting jammed up.
Listen. Here's one thing that I kind of want to talk about, man, while we're on here today. And last week, I ain't gonna lie, I did you a disservice. I did hold back a little bit. I watched it, and I was just like, man, what was I on, man? What was I on? But I'm about to get all that cleared up.
That slick talk. It's that slick talk.
I'm about to get all that cleared up today. I'm about to get all that cleared up today, man. One thing I want to talk about when you're thinking about getting married, brothers watching this, because we are in the men's podcast. One thing I want to kind of chop some game up about with my brothers is one word, man, that is very important when you are going through your premarital counseling, man. Not word is
so we got premarital counseling. We got premarital counseling on the list.
Right.
All right.
What premarital counseling, right? That's very important before you get married. Go through your premarital counseling. And one thing in that premarital counseling that you really got to key on and talk about and really lay on the line is one word, man, one heavy word. It's called compromise. Are you willing to compromise certain things that you like in your marriage? So let's talk about it.
Okay.
So if you like a big booty, let's just be real. If you like your girlfriend, which is now your
should be on the list. It should be on the list, huh?
If you like a big booty, if you like girls with big booties, and your wife or your fiance don't got a big booty, your girlfriend don't got a big booty, and you thinking about marrying her, are you willing to compromise that when you get married? Are you willing to say, I could do without the big booty, because she does A, B, and C, E, F, and G. Are you willing to compromise before you get married? Are you willing to say, you know what?
What say you, brother? You still sound like you're giving a little slick talk here. You're not just being definitive. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Come on, man. Let's get it, right? So what I'm going to say about compromising is you have to understand that when you compromise, you're letting go of something that you like to gain something else. But here's the thing about that compromise, man. Here's the thing about that compromise. You're going to find yourself missing what you compromised on. And then you're going to start finding other ways, means, and measures to kind of get that thing back that you're missing so much because you compromised on it so much. So what I'm trying to say is if you like that big booty and your wife don't got a big booty, I'm not saying don't go forth with your marriage, but all I'm saying is you have to be aware that that's something that you compromise on that you're going to miss later on down the road. And are you willing to miss that? Because then if you start missing it, what's going to happen? You're going to start going to the Instagram pages with the BBLs, or you're going to start going to Pornhub looking for big booty ebonies, So are you willing to be like, hey, I'm okay with compromising on these certain aspects, and down the road, how are you going to deal with missing those aspects that you like so much? Like if you like girls with long hair, like, long braids or whatever, and your wife don't wear long hair. She like, I ain't wearing long hair. I'm not willing to compromise and wear long hair because, it's something that I just don't like. Are you willing to miss that 4 or 5 years down the road and deal with you not seeing that hair that you like so much in your mate? That's something that you got to realize, when you compromise, how are you going to deal with that aspect of your sexual relationship, physical attraction? How are you going to deal with missing that thing that you like so much in somebody who you're married to or dating? That's the truth.
Interesting. Very interesting. It's interesting that you chose those examples. Listen, fellas, those of you who are joining us, welcome to the Get Your S.H.I.F.T Together Ms. podcast. We're talking honestly about if we could go back in time, what would you tell your single self before you got married? Jay has already come out and laid some fire. He talked about premarital counseling. By the way, I just need to highly recommend that. A lot of y'all got
Got it.
married. They had no they had no conversations with nobody. Didn't talk to nobody. I mean, you ain't got to be a therapist, bro. I'm saying talk to somebody. Talk to your mama. Do something. Do some due diligence. You don't buy a car without doing your due diligence. Why would you get married about? So that's a good point. Then you talked about compromise, and that's a good point. I know you use some, and I'm just gonna say it, man. Let's be real. I feel like those are superficial, but I think they're not. No, but they're not superficial. So all right. Let me give you my personal story.
Oh, hold on.
Me and my wife get into it all the time. Okay, go ahead.
They're superficial, yes, definitely. But how important are they to you? Right. Hey,
I'm about to go there.
I know what I like in a woman. My wife got a nice booty. I love my I like my wife's. I'm not gonna say that. I like my wife.
Nice to you. It should be nice to you.
It should be nice to you. My wife's body. I like my wife's frame. I like how my wife could switch up her hair and go from long to short. Those are things that I have to have in a mate. You know, so when I got married, you know, Myron knows he did my premarital counseling. We laid out on the line like these are some of the things. These are some of the things that I like that I don't want to compromise on, just for A, B, and C. Like I gotta have this in my marriage. So, you know, those things are important.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think to some extent. I'll say this though: all the people I know that get divorced or marriages that fall apart, they don't fall apart because they compromised on the superficial stuff. And I'm not trying to disagree with you because I know what you're saying. You just use it as an example. But just so we're talking to the brothers, if I had to go back to my single self, I would have told myself that I need to address my expectations and personal traumas. In short, I would say I need to really learn myself. So in my marriage, my wife we had this thing, we go back and forth a lot because she feels like I didn't marry. She feels like I didn't marry her because I was attracted to her, meaning that she didn't fit. She says she was different from all the girls that I dated. My wife says that I have this profile, which I'm not going to say what the profile is. You know, let's somebody out there try to, you know, take advantage of this. But I'm just saying, she said I had a profile, and she said I didn't fit that profile, and she didn't fit that profile. And I'm gonna give you the honest truth. I was not, from a physical standpoint, I had never dated somebody like Shanae. I've definitely had in my mind, from a physical perspective, what I thought I wanted. Now here's where the switch is. But when me and Shanae started dating, have you ever, like, it's like when we started dating, I was willing to, and I don't even want to say compromise. I feel like I upgraded what I thought I wanted. Does that make sense? There's a lot of brothers out there because they don't know themselves. And I'm not saying I lucked up. I just feel like God set this up. But I would have never, if it was just up to me, I wouldn't have just gone looking for somebody like Shanae. And that's no slight to her. My wife is gorgeous. But maybe some brothers feel like they weren't in that league. Maybe some brothers settle because they feel like they can't get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, and I think a lot of times who we end up getting with is more of a reflection of ourselves than it is a reflection of the other person. And there's a lot of brothers right now that's single. And I just want to say to you, do you know yourself? And I'm not saying you need to, we're all still learning about ourselves, but a lot of times we jump into these relationships and we ain't done enough self-knowledge, self-awareness to be able to handle what's going on. So that's just one. Let's go to some other stuff. What are some other things that you wish you would have knew before you got married?
The importance of quality time. The importance of,
you didn't know that when you was dating?
Well, I knew that, but I thought that quality time would be, you know, just happen naturally.
No, naturally. Yeah. Naturally. Oh, that's true.
It just happened naturally. Just like
it happened easy. When we was dating, it happened easier. It was easier when we were dating. Yeah.
Definitely. It just happens organically. No, it doesn't happen organically. And when it happens organically, in a lot of instances, that's not quality time. You know, my wife's love language is quality time. She likes when I plan, set things apart, and really plan out quality time. You know, if she's sitting on the couch and I just join her on the couch and I watch a show with her, that could be quality time. But she really likes me to plan out the quality time, to actually carve out time in my day and make sure, like, hey, you know, this is some time that I got to spend with Nita doing A, B, and C, because you know better than I, man. We are busy men. I'm extremely busy. You know, I do music, I DJ, and I work. You know, so in a day I'm running. You know, and I may forget, hey, I need to carve out some specialized quality time and put in that really good effort and making sure we spend some alone time, you know, with us, especially with the kids. You know, the kids take up 3/4 of the day. You know, when you have little kids, it's just a lot. Kids are a lot. That's another one I'll get to down the road. But kids are a lot. Kids take up a lot of your time. And so a lot of times you have to sit and plan. Hey, from 8 to 9, I'm not going to get on any calls. I'm not going to respond to any messages, emails. I'm not going to do any content. I'm going to cut out 8 to 9. Let it be known, hey, I want to spend some time with you. I want to do this. I want to watch a show from 8 to 9 before we go to bed, you know. And I don't want that to sound selfish, like, hey, he doesn't spend quality time, or, you know what I'm saying, he didn't think about that. No, like I said before, sometimes you think it just happens organically, but it's valued more when you actually set time apart. Hey, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. You know, organic quality time, it always happens. You know, you driving in a car, it's just you and her. You know, that's great. You know, you guys can spark up a great conversation. That's awesome. But when you take that extra time to plan the quality time, I think it's valued a little bit more.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. That's real good. It don't happen organically. That's a word. To that point, I'll say the next thing I want to add to this, and I already know what the one is I'm going to add after that, because that's the one I'm kicking myself about right now. But I'll say this because it's the most obvious. I know we kind of addressed a little bit, but sex ain't what you think it is. That's why we go back and tell the young bro. I would like, dude, whatever you're expecting, you're probably wrong, right?
Yeah.
You need to go talk to some women. You need to go talk to some women before you get married, not all them chicks that you've been messing around with, right? Like a lot of brothers think they're sexually prepared for marriage because they have sexual experience. And just because you were experienced sexually don't mean jack when it comes to your wife. And some brothers feel like they caught the okie doke because maybe even they was hot and heavy sexually before they got married. And as soon as they got married, it's like things changed in a year or 2 years or when the kids came. And I ain't gonna front, man. Sex is a big part. I think about sex all day. Where the brothers at to keep it 100? This is like at least 80-90% of the day. Outside of the times I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? My mind is on sex. My wife's mind ain't on sex like that. Not like it is with me. And man, we had some major problems in our marriage because, man, we were fighting over. I was pissed because I'm like, man, she ain't get, and I took it as rejection. I'm like, what? Is it I ain't good in bed? You know what I'm saying? She's not attracted to me. Does she not respect me? And what I didn't understand. I didn't understand women because we think that if we are promiscuous with women before we get married, then that gives us some idea of what women are like. But women are totally different. Listen to me, fellas. Women are not the same when you marry them. They can be one way when you dating them. They can be one way when you living with them and you got kids with them. As soon as you get married to them, they're different, and you got to be prepared for that. And you need to talk to some wise women, some women that's gonna keep it 100 with you, some OGs that's gonna keep it 100 with you. Because I know, and I'm looking at this because I know one of the biggest things that you're looking forward to when you get married is that sex without repentance. You want that sex without repentance, man. You trying to get dirty and nasty and not have to ask the Lord for forgiveness of your sins. And you don't even know that the real thing is you're going to be pissed the majority of the time you marry because you're going to start hating that woman because she walking around with her panties on, with no bra on, and you getting horny, and she don't want to give you no draws because she's tired. Man, you better talk to somebody first. You better talk to somebody.
Man. Listen, He hit the nail on the head, man. You think that you're gonna have all this amazing sex all the time, 24/7, 365 days a year, man. It don't shake out like that. It don't shake out like that. It just don't. And it really does not have anything to do with the attraction or the actual act of her wanting you, man. You guys are busy. You're busy, and I'm tired. I thought, man, I would tell my 22-year-old self, or shoot, even 28-year-old self, man, if I look back at that dude talking about you'll turn down sex, I would say, hell no, I'll never turn down sex, man. I would never turn down sex. What? Turn down sex? Are you crazy? But man,
never imagine it. Never imagine
working all day, supplying for your family, holding down your family. Some days, man, you are tired, man. You just go home. You just want to just go to sleep, man. This Valentine's Day, full confession. This Valentine's Day, I was over at my boy's house, my boy Alan Bozeman, and I got a daughter. He got a daughter. Our daughters are really, really close, and so his daughter called my daughter, and hey man, I want to see. So it was Valentine's Day. I had some candy, and so I took Zara over there to go see her friend, and I'm over there like I'm just dead tired, man. I'm dead tired. And Alan's like, hey man, what you gonna do tonight? What you gonna do? It's Valentine's Day night. What you gonna do? I looked up at my tired eyes and said, man, I'm going to bed, bro. I'm going to bed, bro. I'm busted. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? And so you never think, man, that would be you. But I'm telling you, marriage changes things, especially when you throw kids in there, parents in there. It's just life, man. Life changes, man. And you just change some of the things that you held so important. They change around, bro.
Bro, I got to tell you this, man. When it comes to, I think another big one, I know you agree with this, and we probably could spend a little time on this one. Man, I wish, now, let me say this. I got just to set this up. A lot of brothers feel pressure. I know some brothers who won't get married because they feel like they got to have their finances in order, right? So they're like, I ain't ready to be married yet. All right, so let me understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to be wealthy. I'm not saying you need to have your own house. I'm not saying you need to have your own. I'm not saying you need to have all that. Here's what I would advise, though. I would advise. I'm not saying you have to, but I would advise that you do. I would advise that your finances is in order. I would advise that you know how to manage money. I would advise that you got somebody in your life that's showing you how to handle finances, how to make money, how to bring something to the table. Because let's just be honest, and I'm just my opinion. Things changed in my marriage when I started bringing more money in.
Yeah,
things changed in my marriage because I know for a fact that my wife, and I'm speaking about me. I don't know what the rest of these guys are, and I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, support, patriarchy. I'm not trying to support the mindset, the old school mindset that the men go out. I'm just telling you, I know my wife, and I'm trying not to say I know women, but I'm just saying I know my wife, and my wife is a full-blown professional. She's a dentist. And there's something about security. It's security. It's not even the money. They need to feel secure. And when your account is overdrawn, when you got sneakers up in the closet for days, but you can't take no vacations, when you driving a nice car, but you don't got no savings, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all that stuff that was impressive to your girl beforehand because you dressed nice and you drove a nice car, but you was really broke as a mug. She was really broke as a mug. That stuff don't translate when you married, you got kids, you got goals. Her mindset changed. And I'm telling you, man, here's why I failed. I ain't no jack about money. Nothing. And I felt like a sucker. I feel like a simp, honestly, a lot of times in my marriage. I'm just being honest, man. Sometimes I felt less than. And it didn't have to be that way because I never started taking money seriously until I got married. Now, it's a lot of brothers taking money seriously, but they don't take the other stuff seriously. But I'm saying this. I feel like when you get married, you need to have your stuff together.
That's a fact. That's
at least a plan.
That's a fact. At least a plan, and start saving money. Start saving money, man, because I'm telling you, Not knocking the brothers that don't got it, man, but you know, that residual income, it helps. It takes a lot of load and pressure off your marriage, man, to say, hey, okay, baby, you can get that without it, you know, you don't got to go check the account. You don't got to, you know, oh my God, I got to pull back on this, pull back on that. Now, I do anyway, probably because I'm just Scrooge McDuck. You know, I'm always.
That's why a lot of us ain't getting sex, because our wives be stressed because they got to work all day.
Yeah, I'm counting every red cent, man. I like to say, but you know, just having the ability to do a family vacation and, you know, do a vacation with your wife, you know, being able to go out to eat, you know, that stuff, that all that takes money, man. Shout out to DJ Khaled, because he says money is everything. You need money to drink water. You know, I mean, you need money for everything. You need money for everything, man. And don't downplay it in your marriage, man. Like, a lot of stats say, you know, divorce happens because of income, you know, and that's true. And when you have
sure, yeah,
man, when you had a bag, hey, stuff gets a lot easier. And it's good, man, that you could go out and buy your wife little things here and there. You know, she'll appreciate that if her love language is gifts or whatever, you know, but it's having that peace of mind that you can support your family.
The
that
peace
takes
of
a lot
mind. The peace of mind.
Peace of mind is to support your family. Security.
Now, you can take this too far. I mean, I know some brothers, that's all they focus. I mean, how many brothers we know and experiences of people we know that, you know what I'm saying, they got the bag secure, the finances are there, but they're not emotionally present. So and you kind of brought this up, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this, Jay, but I feel like if I could go back to my single self, I would want him to know. I would want him to know that he has what it takes to be a good husband, and that he don't have to feel bad because he not doing what the next man doing. See, a lot of times we as men, we be comparing ourselves to other dudes and what other marriages and what's going on. But Jay, real talk, how many of us have seen couples that look like they was happy and they was not, and their marriages failed? Like, y'all gotta learn how to do you.
Instagram happy.
Big facts. Like, and so a lot of brothers, they come in and they feeling like, well, I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that. And I wanted to piggyback on that after the money thing, because some brothers feel like they're not providing enough. So let me say this: providing to me is not just about what kind of money you bringing in, but you also, I didn't realize this, that my wife also wants me to provide emotional support. She wants me to be emotionally present. She wants to see me working on myself. She wants me to see me, like, one of the biggest turn-ons for my wife is when I do stuff for my kids. Like, I got a text message going on with my son, and I showed the text message to my wife. He won a basketball game yesterday in the playoffs, and he was crying. So I texted him and I was like, hey man, I noticed you were crying. What were those tears about? And so, you know how young brothers are. They always, I mean, I think it was something real short. He didn't want to tell me. I was like, nah, come on, tell me what was on your heart? What was on your mind? And so he basically, you know, one of the guys on the team, man, had some health challenges, and then there was a lot of obstacles, and, you know what I'm saying, they got there. And so he shared. So I screenshot the conversation, because I'm an OG now. I screenshot that conversation and I gave it to my wife. And I could tell that my wife was happy, not only because of my son, but she was happy because she loves to see me connecting with my kids. There's other ways to connect with your wife without touching her. You know what I'm saying? Without groping her. She wants to see you be a good dude. She wants to see you become your best self. And when you're working on yourself and improving yourself and not comparing yourself to other brothers, feeling like you slouching or you a slump or you lunching or whatever, like, to me, that's a turn on. And I wish I had known that, because I was looking at too many other people's marriages and situations. How about you? Give me one more before we get on out of here. What's another thing you would tell young Jason, man? With the Air Force Ones on, man, the fresh cut, man, living on the west side, you know, chilling with his what's the boy's name? Shantone, chilling with Shantone, getting married, bro. Because we've all passed some rocky days in our marriage, man. What's the other thing
definitely.
you would tell that dude?
One thing I would say, man, is you want kids. You want kids. Kids are important. You know, every man wants that son. Every man wants that little princess.
Yeah.
But kids are a lot, bro. Kids are a lot. Kids is going to take up a lot of time in your marriage. Kids are a lot. Be ready for them kids. Be ready for your kids, man. If you want kids, if you value having a family with kids or whatever, just be prepared because kids are a lot. Emotionally a lot, mentally a lot, financially, sometimes it could be a lot. So just get ready, man, because when you bring them kids into this world, it's go time. From the minute they pop out that thing, man, it's go time. One thing I wish I would have did in my marriage, honestly, or even in my relationship, man, I wish I would have had kids a little bit earlier in life. You know, Juanita used to bring up all the time, like, hey, man, you know, we ain't getting no older, man. We need to tie this knot and start this family. I take my time, whatever. You know, girl, don't rush me. Don't rush me, girl. I know what I'm doing. But as you get older, life gets more complicated. And when you throw kids in the mix, man, it's a cocktail of a lot of overcoming a lot of barriers. Not saying I wouldn't do it again. I love my children. I love them more than I love myself. I lay my life down for my kids at a heartbeat. But kids are tiring. Kids are a lot, man. Kids are a lot, and they do put a little strain on your marriage, man. You know, right now we're trying to get Jackson out the bed, man. My son just loves coming in there laying with us. You know, it's daddy, mommy. You know, he's talking.
He in there blocking.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's so cute, you know. But hey, that's that quality time. That's that quality time that me and my wife could be spending together. And it's hard getting them out that bed, you know, just sleep training them. So just understand, man, having a family, having kids, it's a lot. It's worth it, but you know, it's gonna be some little barriers that you might come up against for sure.
Man, they change everything. I'm gonna
Change
drop
everything.
one last thing. I'm gonna drop one last thing. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna say this. Look, when you get married, right? I'm talking. Just follow me on this. To get what you never got and to see what you never seen, you gotta do what you never done. All right. So I'm gonna throw this little tip at you, right? Don't bring a television in your room.
I got one in there right now.
I'm saying early on. Early on. Early on. I'm not anti-TV. This is not like a, you know, what I'm saying is a lot of times we complain about intimacy in our marriages, and our women are like, we're not intimate, right? Meaning that we're not connected with them. But the problem is you work all day, you come home, you get on your phone, and when you get on your phone, you get in the bed, you turn the TV on, bro. It's just there's no opportunity to connect and talk to your spouse, to connect and have fun, to play games together. Like that's why you ain't getting no tail, bro. Real talk. Honestly, Jason said it, man. A lot of the reasons why we ain't getting that loving, man, that we want, the nurturing, the affection, is because it's too much going on, bro. It's too much going, y'all. It's too much going on. Too many distractions. The kids are pulling. It's too much going on. And then on top of that, you gonna make a choice to bring the television distraction. So here's a normal scenario in my house. We got the TV on upstairs. We're laying in the bed. She got her laptop open and her phone. I'm on my phone and my iPad. How the hell is anything gonna happen? Where's the connection gonna ever happen? And then you wake up, you don't pray together, you don't spend no time together. There's no really depth to your relationship, no depth at all, none. Y'all don't have no deep conversations no more. Y'all don't talk about life no more. Y'all don't talk about your hopes and your dreams anymore. So I'm just putting it like this: get rid of the TV, and then the second joint is have a family meeting. Have a couples meeting where you talk about your hopes, your dreams, your plans, and put that joint on a schedule. Jay said it earlier. He's like, some stuff y'all think gonna be organic. Marriage is not organic. Dating is. Marriage is freaking work. Marriage is a business, and you need to approach it like that.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I got a TV in my room, man. I very, very rarely turn that joint on, man. I very rarely turn that joint on. It's probably been on in my room probably 2 or 3 times, man, since we did the redesign of the bedroom.
I should have said phone.
You know,
I should have said laptop because for real, we don't really be on. But you know what I'm saying? Those
phone,
distractions, bro.
Yeah, phone, laptop, basically anything that could distract you from spending quality time with your wife. Phone, laptop, TV, heck, it could even be a book or whatever. Anything that is a distraction from you really digging in, getting that quality time from your wife, man. Kick that joint out the bedroom. You got to spend that time, man. You got to spend that time with your wife. Quality time is really important. We hit some good ones today, man. We hit some real good ones.
We're going to carry this on when we bring the other brothers back in. And we're going to get some of y'all have inboxed me on Instagram. A lot of y'all are commenting on Instagram. A lot of you are commenting on Facebook. So we're going to bring some of y'all's input. Some of y'all said some crazy stuff, by the way. I just want you to know. And I'm going to call that joint out. And I'm calling your name out, too.
Give me a little example. Give me one little example, man.
I can't even read this one right here, bro. I can't even read this one out loud. I have to literally. I have to listen. No, I can't even say this. I'm gonna come back. I'll tell you one thing that somebody said. They like, and to me, look, I get it. I'm a pastor. I'm a Christian, and we want to put God first.
Yeah.
But and maybe that's relevant for some people. But their immediate church people, their immediate go-to is, you know, have a relationship with God. Blah 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 blah. No doubt about it. But is that it? Really? Is that?
You know what? Yeah,
that's why I ain't trying to get into it because it's gonna sound weird because I'm gonna say some stuff about that. Well, let me know. I don't even want to open up the can. We're gonna come back next week.
I'll say this, man. Church folk, we need to talk about the realness in marriage when you're doing these marriage counselings in the church or whatever. You know, you got to talk about sex. You got to talk about intimacy. You got to talk about raw attraction, conflict,
family trauma, your relationship with mom, your relationship with your dad, how you treat your siblings, all that stuff. The people telling you about themselves when you look at their family stuff. They ain't talk to. I know some people, they married people, they ain't talk to their sister in 3-4 years. And you trying to figure out why she ignoring you for 2 weeks. I'm like, she done told you how she is. Like that's some open. We got to do your homework. Anyway, we gotta go though. Look, y'all. Next week we're gonna do part 2. We got a lot to get into, and we're calling out all y'all crazy comments that y'all put in here on Instagram. All right, y'all. We out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Get Your S.H.I.F.T. Together Men's Podcast. For more information, please visit our website, menswinningscircle.com. That is, menswinningscircle.com. Let's win in the things that matter.